ready to go.
Okay. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're working on a little RT100 Realtree mini bike. I got it as part of the trade for the go-kart that we had a couple of weeks back. Now, it's not quite ready for prime time. The pull cord's a little bit limp. The carburetor just is acting oddly. It's just not quite ready. It almost runs. So, all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and we really do appreciate it. And let's get started. Now, nothing against lawnmowers and weed eaters and whatnot, but this looks like a fun little toy to play with. Part of the fun of these is when you go test them, you don't feel like you're working. You feel like you're having fun. First thing we're going to do is work on that recoil. You can see it's a little bit of a mess. So we're going to go ahead and pull it off and rewind it a little bit or see what it needs. That looks too big. That's too big. That fits, but it's a little bit snug. It's a little bit fat. There's one. Looks like this one's already a little bit loose. That's never a good sign. That means somebody's probably touched it. So let's see if we can get this rewound just a little bit. We might even put a new string in. Let's take her over to the bench. Everything looks to be in order. So I suppose we'll put another wind on her and see what we've got. Because, you know, this one winds a whole lot easier than most of them do. Usually when you're putting another spin on one of these, it's a lot of work. This one's only kind of a lot of work. Halfway there, 3/4 of the way there. Now we can just pull it and let the rest of it happen. So yeah, I would like one more wind on this. Only to make it nice and snug. I don't want that dangling around by my foot when we're running around on it. If one extra wind is good, 2 extra winds will be gooder. And yeah, don't correct my English, I know. Yep, we almost made it. There you go. Now it's nice and tight. Let's throw her back on and get the carburetor off. Okay, we're going to switch off to the nut driver to put them back on. The standard socket just didn't quite fit in the hole. Tighten that one a little bit. Don't want to go too tight till we have them all started. There's one. There's two. Make sure they're nice and snug. Okay, now let's go after the carburetor problems. This thing it tries to run, but it's all stumbly and everything, and it's obviously been sitting for just a little bit. It doesn't sound as good as it should. So we're going to go ahead and pull the carburetor off and clean her up real quick. I went ahead and checked the gas off camera, and it looks pretty good. So we're going to keep the gas. So the first thing we're going to do is kink the little fuel line. And go ahead and pull the bracket off, pull the clamp off. I think that'll do it. And let's pull the carburetor off. We'll give her a good cleaning. A little bit cramped quarters working on one of these, but it's not that bad. We're going to go ahead and use a regular ratchet to take the carburetor off, only for lack of room. There's no place to put a tool in here to speak of outside of this. Yeah, that one's nice and loose. That's nice and loose. Now let's see if we can't spin them off. These bolts are harder to get to than normal. Come on, buddy. And of course, carburetor on one of these is just same old four-stroke carburetor. Not real interesting. This would be a fun place to put a Predator 212, though. And I bet it'd just about fit if I used this gas tank. This is a little 2.8 horse motor. Might be a 3. I'm guessing the 100 is a 100cc motor here. But we'll find out when we get her all the way apart. Let's put the gaskets on the seat so we don't lose them. Ease this forward and get the linkage. I know that's kind of in the dark for you guys. Apologies for that. There's just not much room for anything on this one. But once we get it out of here, we'll take it to the bench and you can see what's going on. This little spring is just in love. There we go. And there's a carburetor. So first thing I'm going to do is do a quick surface clean on it. And we'll take her over to the bench and break her down and run her through the ultrasonic. Now this might be the most hateful thing I've ever seen on a carburetor. They've actually riveted the bolt to the carburetor. So what we're going to do is we're still going to use the ultrasonic on it and see if it can't get whatever it can get. We're going to go ahead and pull that off and I guess just run it through. And we know this works fine, so I'm not going to worry about it. And keep in mind, a lot of people use the ultrasonic. They put the whole carburetor in a glass jar and just keep the solution in the glass jar. So with a little bit of luck, we'll be able to get at least a semi-good cleaning. We'll run it twice. We'll run it for about 45 minutes. And we'll see what we get out of it. Okay, we've blown it all out, and I got as much of the water out as I could. But I filled it up and ran it through the ultrasonic, and hopefully that's enough to get her back in shape to go. I've never put one through with the ball attached. But when you think about it, it's the vibrations in the water. And like I said before, people do put them in great big glass containers and put the lid on and run them through. So that little metal bolt would carry vibrations much better than a big thick piece of glass would. So let's bolt her on and see what we've got. I know there's not a whole lot to see while I'm doing this, unfortunately. The nature of the beast. The nature of the beast here is everything's in the way. And if I put you underneath, you wouldn't be able to really see anything anyway. Okay, let's double check, make sure we're going the right direction. And we go like this. We are. This is a 105cc of little bike here. And when I started out, I was thinking it was the coolest little thing in the world. Now, after seeing the way they put the rivets in the bowl on the carburetor, I'm just not loving it anymore. Let me run around the other side and put the linkage on real quick before before we slide this on, as you guys remember, I had to battle this a little bit to get it to let go originally. Okay. I'm kind of hoping I can take you guys for a ride in just a few minutes here. I don't know how a carburetor is going to respond to cleaning it with the bowl still bolted on. But I'm 100% sure that I got it completely full of cleaning solution. And in my case, for you guys who are curious, my preferred cleaning solution is Pine Sol. I run 20% Pine Sol and the rest water, 80% water, and it works pretty good. There we go. After more than a little bit of fiddling, she's on. So let's slide her back into place. I can see my gaskets. There we go. Feels like I'm rubbing on something, so I've got something in the way here. Ah, here it is. Little rubber hose. Perfect. Attach our fuel line. Before it gets to the point where it's too crowded. There's no doubt that it's a four-handed job to do this, which just makes it more fun. Since we've got this free, I'm going to try to pull this back just a little. There we go. That'll make you go on a little bit easier. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. There we go. A little bit more, a little bit more. There we go. Are we all the way on? We're pretty close. Now let's put our clamp back on. There we go. This would be a great place for a cutoff, but the pipe's only 2 inches long. When you're putting these gaskets on, make sure you get them in the right order, because in a lot of these, the gaskets have breathers, assorted breathers and assorted vacuums and things that you don't want to cross. If you cover a hole up, then you're not going to run right and you're not going to have any idea why. It's not going to be obvious. Okay, come on, there you go. We are so close. And while we do this, we've got our fuel turned on, so she's filling up with fuel right now. And there. Let's get our nuts on. Let's take this bad boy down the street. Let's get in trouble with the local authorities. Currently Thursday, and it's middle of the day. It's about 2 in the afternoon. So I don't think anybody will notice me. Either that or I'll be the only thing out there and everybody will notice me. And that's kind of funny too. That's a different kind of funny. That's a please pull over funny. Okay, that's about it, guys. Just got to tighten this up, put the air filter on, and we're good to go. I know I'm not giving you a great angle on this. I apologize for that. And trust me, there's no great angle for me to see it either. Thought about taking this fender off, but I said, nah. No reason to take the long way around the block. There's one. anybody who watches this occasionally would know I'd usually be using a battery tool of some sort to do these, but it just doesn't fit today. I'll tell you, when I saw that bowl riveted on, I got really determined that I was going to get this carburetor running and not buy another one. So I just can't feed that machine. Now we've only got a couple little details left to do before this thing's ready to run. Unfortunately, they're important details. First thing we need to do is get the kickstand done. That looks like money there. And there we go. Now, perfect. I see the kickstand wants to stand up a little bit. I think it's still good enough to hold it still. Okay, and last but not least is we'll put the air filter back on, put the kill switch on it, put a new kill switch on it, and we should be good to go. Okay, let's see what we got here. Tried to run away on me when I originally tested it. So I decided I don't want to ride it until I have a new kill switch on it. Now, of course, top speed on this is about 22, 23 miles an hour. Might get 25 going downhill. But since I'm using a hat to keep my head alive, I'm not going to take that chance. Oh, a tie strap. Very nice. Let me get some cutters. And there's one. Okay, and the other one? We need the screw gun. Anything. Good old quarter. Every time. No, 5/16, I'm sorry. There you go. Now the old one's out of the way. Now we'll start down here and work our way back on the new one. Now the way these kill switches work is they ground the ignition coil to the frame. It gives the electricity a different place to go so it doesn't go to the spark plug. Come on, buddy, get in there. There you go. Looks good, looks good. I'll start putting our little straps back in. Try to get these at an angle where they don't interfere with the feet. Especially for the maiden voyage. That's when all the excitement happens. First time you write it, you just don't know what's going to go right or what's going to go wrong. Okay, there's 2. Let's put number 3 up here. Then we'll decide if we want another one in the middle. Oh. I could go tie straps on these, but I'm not gonna. Since I've got the little factory rubber clips, might as well use the foolish things. What do you think? Do we need another one? Yeah, we need another one. Since I went out of my way to get the factory everything else, we might as well make sure we put the clips on correctly. There you go. Looks pretty good. Now all I have to do is put that back on. We're done. And now we're 1 airbox away. Oh, no, that wants to come from underneath. Only so that that's hard to say. I guess going from the top looks better. So we'll go like that. This is another one of those classic 3-hand jobs. And I'm trying to do it left-handed, and that's not working out for me. Okay. Let's get the top screw in. Let's get the bottom screw in, and then we'll move her into position. Did that take? That didn't take. Come on, buddy. Get in your hole. Put a little bit to the right. There we go. Perfect. And now once we get onto the street, if something goes wrong, we can kill it. At least that's the theory. So let's put the airbox on and take her for a ride. And that's it. She's ready to go. So I'll set you guys up out here. That way, if I get myself killed, at least you'll know why it happened and how it happened. Let's choke her. Choke, choke, choke. There we go. Okay. The brakes feel pretty good. It sounds pretty solid. We've got to crash that. Let's go for a ride. That feels good. This one's really great. Well, looks like we've got ourselves a pretty good little mini bike, and it's going for sale tomorrow, and we've already got a buyer for it. Now we're selling her pretty cheap, but we're done playing with it. Now we got to get it out of the garage. So for all you new people out there, go ahead and subscribe. Like I said before, it's still free. So we'll see you next time.